Salutations, my dearest friends. My name is Samantha, and today we're going to be doing another installment of my author binge series where I pick one author and read a bunch of their backlists. Hi, the dogs are barking. We'll ignore that. Hi, hello, how are you? Welcome or welcome back to my channel, and welcome back to my little author binge series. This was a series that I did like when I first started my channel, and for some reason I stopped doing it. I don't know why I did that, because I love doing these type of videos where I pick one specific author and read a ton of their backlist, maybe even their entire backlist. I feel like that really gives me, these dogs are really barking. I feel like that really gives me a good vibe of the author's writing style, and today we're going to be doing a historical romance author, and that is Shana Galen. Shana Galen? Shana Galen. Shana Galen. I don't know. I'm so sorry if I butchered that name. I literally heard nothing but good things about this author. So many of my friends really love her historical romances. I asked my friend Lisa from Remarkably Lisa if she had any historical romances to recommend to me, because that was like the vibe I was in. I recommended this author, and my library has pretty much like all her audiobooks, which I'm stoked about. So I'm going to dive in. I'm going to read some of her backlist. I'm going to see what's up with this author. I trust Lisa when it comes to historical romances, you know, like she is the historical romance queen. She has so many videos on historical romance recommendations. She has the historical romance readathon with Lacey and Jess. She is the vibe. She's the moment. She is the knowledge when it comes to this genre. This will be a reading vlog where I read a ton of her books. I'll tell you what I think as we go, and then I will have a wrap up towards the end. Her library does not have these audiobooks. I see like one or two of her books available on Kindle Unlimited. I also see her books go on like ebook sales on Amazon quite frequently. To go on the author's website and kind of read about them, see what they're about, what their books are about, what do they write. And Shana Galen, I feel like I'm butchering her name, I'm so sorry. She writes predominantly historic romances. She doesn't really write any other genre, and she used to be a English teacher for middle and high school, and now she's a full-time writer, so love to see that. This video, I'm going to be focusing on her Survivors series. The first book in that series is Third Sense a Charm, and this one is available on Kindle Limited. This is the one that Lisa specifically recommended me, so I'm going to start with this one and we'll see how it goes. I don't have much of a TBR for this one because she has such a large backlist. I'm just going based on vibes. Stop talking because I've been talking forever. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will take you guys along with me this week as I read some readings and salutations. I just got off of work. Let me put on this lip balm. My lips are so dry. I'm in such a makeup buying mood, which is so funny because I'm not wearing any makeup besides like lip balm and a little bit of mascara. This brand called Made by Mitchell, which is a UK brand, so buying from the website is kind of expensive because you have to pay international shipping if you live in the States like me. This palette right here, it's a blush palette with 12 different colors, and I'm really excited for that. Had these color cases that look amazing, like literally so amazing. I saw these and like the color wave just speaks to me. It's like these neon pastel looking colors. Very excited. And then it also comes with a little spatula. I also got the more neutral toned one because I figure I can do like foundation, contour, highlight with that. Everything glitter. So I got one of their liquid blushes, but it's more like this metallic liquid highlights. Should we swatch it? I don't want to waste any product. Oh, it's pretty! It's like this, oh, you can't tell on camera, but it's like this silver glitter that is so reflective. That's exciting. Makeup, books, cozy gaming, that's all I need in my life. And a sugar daddy who pays for all those stuff. But we're getting there. We're getting there. Anyways, yeah, just wanted to share some new makeup items with you guys. That was things, my friends. I'm here with a little update for you guys. I'm flying through these audiobooks. I already read 2 of the books from the Survivor series, and I'm on the 3rd one right now. So we're making moves, and I feel like I have not updated you guys, which is truly my fault. I have to say, I'm having a grand time. Just great. I feel like this year alone has been like some of the most like 4-star and 5-star reads I've ever had. I don't know. I'm just like really falling back in love with reading. Before I update you guys on the books, gosh, I'm in a chatty mood. I just finished my makeup because today is going to be a filming day. I have a live show. I need to film some videos, and I was playing with my makeup today, and I used the makeup that I showed you guys in like the last clip where I hauled some makeup. This is the Made by Mitchell color cases, and I pretty much use this for my whole face. Foundation, concealer, bronzer, highlight, like literally eyeliner, eyebrows, everything. I really wanted to play with like the glitter. How pretty is this glitter? This is the Made by Mitchell Blush in the shade Drip Drip. I feel like my camera is not doing it any types of justice. It just glows and it's so pretty, so pretty. I'm just like obsessed with myself today. I'm kidding. Well, kind of. So let's talk about the first book, Third Sense of Charm. Like I said, this one is available on Kindle Unlimited. I read it as an audiobook. This one is sort of like a bodyguard romance. So it takes place during Regency era. Those Ewan and Lady Lorraine. Lady Lorraine is wild, okay? She's wild. The series is called the Survivor series, and the premise of the whole series is it follows this troop of men who were all soldiers in the war with Napoleon. They were a part of like this special task team where when it was created, it was kind of created almost like a suicide mission. Like nobody really expected these men to live, and they walked in with over a dozen men and only a handful of them walked out. So that is why they are called the survivors, because they survived this really treacherous, dangerous mission. Each of them have like different skill sets and nicknames. I feel like this is a series I would recommend reading in order because you get to see the friendships of these soldiers, and that is like just as much a part of the story as the romance was. So I thought that was really cool. I love a bromance. This one follows Ewan, who is known as the Protector, and he is this really strong but silent type of character, known to his friends as being like the one you want to bring in on a fight. Like he's gonna have your back. He is loyal. He is a man of few words, but he's there, and I just loved his character so much. And ends up getting hired by a duke who is looking for a bodyguard for his daughter because his daughter is just reckless. She's determined to find adventure at literally any cost, and she is in love with Ewan's cousin, who is not the best person ever. He is a fortune hunter. He is definitely using Lorraine without her really realizing it. So her father wants to hire someone to like protect her and like keep her from like running off and eloping in the middle of the night. So Ewan ends up only agreeing to the whole situation because him and his cousin have some beef. You think she's in love with someone else, but like she confused, okay? It is so freaking good. The way that I love the hero in this book, like I can totally understand why he's called the Protector, because that's exactly how he was with our heroine. He protected her, supported her, was there for her in a very silent and like soft way. Definition of a gentle giant. The author did a phenomenal job on everything: the romance, the relationship, the side characters, the plot. The plot was actually very interesting. I'm more of like a character driven person. I'm not a plot driven person, but there was like a little suspense side plot that I was really intrigued with. So yeah, I just thought this was so good. I gave this 4 stars, and the only reason I gave it 4 stars was because towards the end it did tend to drag just a little bit. I feel like our characters were very stubborn. The next book though, the next book was my shit. Like I fucking love this next book. So this next one is No Earls Allowed. It is the second book in the series, and it follows Neil, who in the group of friends was like the captain. One of his father's friends ends up coming up to him and asking him for a favor. He is trying to get his daughter back home. Heroine Juliana, I believe she is the daughter of an earl if I'm not mistaken, and she really has no interest in nobility, to be honest. Lady Juliana goes to live at this orphanage of young boys. There's like 12 of them. She is pretty much like the main person taking care of them. She doesn't have a lot of help, and her father is trying to convince her to come home, marry a nobleman before her reputation gets ruined, and he sends Neil. Our heroine is just like a tornado, okay? She is strong and powerful and independent and so freaking kind, like incredibly kind. I loved this heroine, and the second he walks into the orphanage, he falls in love with her and the boys, and it follows their romance. Again, the plot was really interesting, a little bit of a suspense element. It's not like a suspense romance, but the plot is there. I loved this one the most because our hero is a virgin hero, which you guys know is like, I love. He has so many reasons as to why he doesn't want to marry, why he doesn't want to risk the chance of getting a woman pregnant. Of course, our heroine has her reasons too, but gosh, they're so good together. So much fun. Like, this book was hilarious. I loved like all of the little kids in the story. Again, I love the friendships that the guys have, like the fellow soldiers have. That is just so heartwarming to me, and I cannot wait to read literally every single one of their stories. Every single one. We're slowly being introduced to each of them, and then like, you know, they're gonna get a story. Like, you know, they're gonna get a story. Oh, I'm smiling ear to ear because this series is so fun. So if you are a historic romance girly, this is a great one. I don't know why it took me so long to read it. Everybody's been telling me that I would like this series, and the audiobooks are so good. It's just so good. So good. The second book, 5 stars. Virgin hero in a historical romance. Listen, love a non-titled hero. I love a virgin hero. I love a strong, independent woman. It just checked all the boxes. Greetings. We're back with another update. I'm feeling a little under the weather today. Everyone in my house is sick. It's a whole thing. And yeah, I'm just tired. Okay, I just got off work. That does not lessen my enjoyment of talking about these books because I read 2 more books in the series, and we gave one 4 stars and the other one 5 motherfucking stars, and I'm so excited. I'm really vibing with this series. Like, I've already read 4 of the books and I just love every single one. We already have 2 4 stars and 2 5 stars. Like, amazing. Third book in the series is called An Affair with a Spare, and it follows a character named Rafe Beaumont, who you see through the first 2 books and you like know he's getting a story, and I've just been like waiting for his story. Like I said, each person in like this little set of soldiers all had specialized skills, and Rafe is known as the seducer. In the war, he would basically seduce like the wives and daughters of powerful men to get secrets. Really good at what he did. He could basically seduce anyone, get secrets from anyone. He's back in London and the girlies are obsessed with him. The commanding officer basically assigns him to a case to seduce our heroine. She is in London because she's trying to figure out secrets of her own. So her father is a prisoner of war and she is trying to get him free, but in order to get him free, she has to like learn the British codes, like the ones they used in the war, to help like France defeat them. She's basically a spy, but not because she wants to be a spy, but because she like wants to free her dad. Whatever. Send Rafe after her to like figure out what she's doing, and it follows their romance. This one is so freaking good. See, pretty high stakes. Love a reformed rake. Like, I love a rake, a playboy, a bad boy. They're literally like on opposite sides of the war, and they're like trying to find a way together, but also a way to like save her father. Love it. I don't want to ruin anything, but there is a little proposal in this book that was the most romantic yet hilarious thing I've ever read. The only reason I give it 4 stars rather than 5 stars is the heroine was a little pessimistic at times. Like, I feel like she wanted to see the worst in our hero the majority of the book. I really did love her. I just wish she was like just a little less stubborn. Next book. Shut up. The next book I gave 5 stars. That one is called Unmask Me If You Can, and it follows Lord Jasper, who is known as kind of like a bounty hunter. So during the war, he would be able to find literally anything. A missing person, a missing document, a letter, a shoe. Like, he could find anything, okay? He's getting hired by our heroine's father because our heroine has disappeared from London for many years, and she's being called back home, and he goes off to find her. And it turns out that our heroine is actually hiding because she was betrothed to a really awful man. Like, this man is awful. Her father was signing this marriage contract to someone who assaulted her, ends up getting pregnant, and when she finds out that she's pregnant, she takes her and her son and escapes into like the country. No one knew she was pregnant when she left, so he ends up kind of like helping protect her and her son. Oh my god, I skipped like the biggest part of this book. As our hero is searching for her, he gets attacked, and our heroine helps like nurse him back to health. I don't know how I forgot that piece of the story. So she's nursing him back to health, although he's supposed to bring her back to London, but he ends up protecting her and her son. Do you see the vibe? So good. I feel like I explained that horribly, but this book, it was fucking amazing. The little kid in this book was hilarious and so sweet. Our hero, oh, our sweet baby hero, our sweet baby hero, he has his own trauma that he's dealt with in the war. He has like a burn on his face that he's very self-conscious about, and he's just not used to opening up to anyone. And like, oh my gosh, both of them are so jaded from like their past, and they find solace in each other. Shut up. So romantic, so beautiful. 5 motherfucking stars. Okay, I was wrapping up this video, and there's so much vlog footage whenever I film reading vlogs that I never even post, because sometimes I'm like, does anyone want to see me fold laundry? Like, you know, I just keep the camera rolling sometimes when I'm driving, hands-free, of course, the camera rolling. And I was so invested in the last audiobook, A Duke a Dozen. Was it A Duke a Dozen? A Duke a Dozen. Sorry, I got the titles mixed up in my head. And I was like invested. I was in it. I was there. The name of this book started off really slow, and I was like, maybe we're hitting like a decline. But no, it picked up. It picked up, and I was so emotionally invested because this one was really interesting. It had like a side romance between 2 side characters. It had like, God, 20 minutes left in the audiobook when I pulled up to my house. Live with my family, you know, there's a lot of us in this house, so I knew like once I entered the door, I would have to say hi to everyone, we would eat dinner, and I would not get to finish my audiobook. So I did not want to get out of my car. I sat in my car, finished listening to the audiobook, and I didn't realize that my neighbors were actually sitting out in their front lawn. Their kids were just riding scooters, and I didn't realize that. So this is me having an existential crisis about this book, and then realizing that my neighbors were staring at me. So I hope you enjoyed that clip. I shared it on Instagram, and I just thought it was funny. I swear to fucking God. I swear to fucking God. If he dies. He's a side character. He could die. He could. Fuck. Oh my God, I swear to fucking God. I'm sweating. I'm literally sweating. I'm doing my makeup to film, and look at this cute strawberry shirt. I love strawberries, okay? It has become my whole personality since I got my strawberry tattoo, so yeah. I bought more makeup. I know, I literally have a problem. I'm just like in a makeup mood. I really don't know what it is. Got the new e.l.f. Halo Glow Wands. I love e.l.f. Cosmetics. Just chef's kiss. I'm wearing their makeup since high school, and it was good then, and it's even better now, and I just love. And supposedly these are dupes for the Charlotte Tilbury Glow Wands. In theory, that is very exciting, but I definitely don't think that Charlotte Tilbury is the first brand that came out with cream, blush, bronzer, and highlight. So anyways, let me show you what I got. I got all their blush shades because I love a good cream blush, liquid blush. 2 highlights. I got Rose Quartz and Champagne Campaign. And then I just got 1 contour in the shade Medium. And then these came with the order. It is their Big Mood Mascara, and then a sample size of their Sea Bright Putty Primer. Mira que linda, pequeñito paquete. Look at this tiny little package. I can't even. I die. I should have worn this. I already have my foundation on. Gosh, I am just ripping open this package. Jeez Louise, Samantha. Oh, it's coming up quickly. Oh no, that is way too much product. Samantha, what is your problem? We finished the 5th book in the series. It is called The Claiming of the Shrew, and this one follows Sergeant Draven, who is kind of throughout the entire series, and I'm really happy that he got his own romance because his backstory is just so interesting, and it was definitely, like I said, hinted throughout the rest of the books. A second chance romance slash a marriage in trouble, and the story kind of starts off with a prequel of our characters meeting when our hero is in the middle of war. One is the eldest daughter in her family. She's Portuguese, and our hero is stationed there, betrothed to a man that is quite cruel and mean and abusive towards her. So she is trying to find a way out of the marriage and maybe marry one of the soldiers that is passing through town. She sees Draven. He's the commander of his troops. He's very powerful and like this big energy, and she immediately is like, yes, that is who I need to marry. She actually agrees to help her after hearing her situation. They get married, but he gets sent to war. Ends up getting separated for literally years and years and years and years, like almost a decade later. And then she is back in London, asks for an annulment, but he doesn't want to give it to her because he has a feeling that she is in trouble, which she is. A decade later, he ends up helping her and protecting her again, and they rekindle their relationship that they really never had the opportunity to have because they were married and then he was sent away. So yeah, this one was really interesting. I think it was a really good second chance romance slash marriage in trouble. I gave this one 3 stars, which I think is the lowest rating I've given any book in the series so far. Inherently, this book was not bad. Like, if I read this one first, I might have given it a higher rating. But I don't know. I just really vibed with some of the other books in this series. And for this one, I feel like I almost wish we got a little bit more backstory, like our heroine's backstory and our hero's backstory, before we were, like, thrusted into present day. Oh, thank you. The author is so good at writing unique plots and each character like getting their own story. You know, sometimes when books get popular and you almost feel like the author is writing side character romances just because like the fans are requesting it or because it's just a really popular series. It doesn't feel like that with this series. It really does feel like she intended to give each individual soldier a story from the very beginning. I really only gave this 3 stars because there was a huge miscommunication trope in this book, which is just not my favorite. A lot of our heroines are very strong and independent, which this heroine definitely was, and I love that. I think she was too stubborn. Too fucking stubborn. Like, it was obvious that our hero was like madly, deeply crazy in love with her, and he treated her so kindly and with so much respect, and she was kind of mean for like a good portion of the book. Why did they make this so hard to get out of the package? Oh my god, are you joking? Are you joking? I wanted to like keep them in the package because I don't think the things have their name on them. Okay, well, that just went to hell. Anyways, we are on the 6th book of the series now, called A Duke a Dozen, and I will update you guys in a little bit on how I'm liking the book. Hi, hello, we're done with makeup and I filmed some TikToks. Let me show you guys some books that I got recently. I just got Ana Maria and the Fox by Liana de la Rosa. So excited to read this one. Berkeley ended up sending it to me. And my mom surprised me with this one, like a Just Because gift, which I thought was so sweet. This is Anno Dracula by Kim Newman, and it's the 30th anniversary edition with the red sprayed edges, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, signed by the author. Is it signed by the author? It is signed by the author. Beautiful, wonderful. Look how gorgeous the inside is. Like, this book, oh, shut the fuck up. It's so freaking pretty. This one follows Queen Victoria. She is remarried and she has a new consort known as Count Dracula. His polluted bloodline spreads through London as its citizens increasingly choose to become vampires. It's like a horror twist on Dracula. If you guys didn't know, I collect all things Dracula, every retelling, every copy, every edition I want in my greedy little hands. I have so many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I have 13 different editions. Now 14. I love Dracula with my whole heart, body, and soul. All right, I realized that there are so many books in this series. Oh boy. There are 12 books in the Survivor series. The last one was published March 8th, 2022. Okay, so we're not reading the whole series in this video. I thought that's what we were gonna do. I was sadly mistaken. The one we just finished is A Duke a Dozen. I listened to the audiobook of this one as I was editing, filming, like going about my day. This book follows Phineas, who in the group of soldiers is known as the negotiator. During the war, he would like negotiate deals and peace treaties, etc., etc. And he is the 5th son of a duke, so he never expected to hold any type of title. His 4 brothers have miraculously and spontaneously died. Like, one slipped on ice, one fell off a horse, like all of these really dramatic, crazy incidents, and now he is the Duke, and he had wanted nothing to do with the title. The title is said to be cursed because obviously each Duke ends up dying. It feels like he's coming across a series of bad luck, and that is when he meets our heroine. Our heroine, Annabelle, is a widow, and her moniker is the Wanton Widow. Society has kind of deemed her as this very like seductive woman, but that's not really who she is. She's stunningly beautiful, and Phineas is completely enamored with her. She ends up kind of reaching out to him because she needs his influence and his help. She is a widow, and the man that she was married to mentally, physically, emotionally, sexually abused her. Like, just, he was awful, 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 awful. And they had a daughter with special needs, and he basically took that daughter, sent her to a hospital, and never told our heroine where she was. She wants Phineas's help because, one, he's known as the negotiator. He's known for getting information, but also because he's a duke and his title and his money kind of throw a lot of weight. So he ends up helping her. They're on this course to find her daughter, her missing daughter, but there's also this curse of the dukedom, and it seems like somebody's trying to kill him potentially. It's a very interesting plot. This one does have an age gap with an older heroine, younger man. I think our hero is like early 30s. I think he's 32, and then our heroine's almost 50. She's like 48, 49, late 40s. So really loved that age gap. So loved Phineas. He was a little bit of a smooth talker. I loved it. I loved it. It was great. I'm gonna give this 3.5, 4 stars. I'm not quite sure. I'm still in between with my rating. Again, it was such a good book in the series, but I did like some of the other books a little more. Okay, so we're gonna wrap up this video because I feel like I've been talking for hours. I think it's pretty obvious to say that I have thoroughly enjoyed reading this series, and I think her writing is impeccable. I love the way she writes the connection between characters. The concept of this entire series of following these soldiers who are part of like the survivor team just was so interesting. Like, I absolutely loved like the bromance throughout the books. I loved each individual story dealing with their own stuff, PTSD and night terrors and a stutter and social anxiety and scars and wounds from the from the battle. Fleshed out, unique, wonderful heroes to read about. Like, I adored every single one of them. And then you had your heroines who were so strong and independent and had their own sets of storylines outside of our heroes. The romance itself was so sweet and perfectly steamy and just great. Like, everything about this series was great. I loved her writing style. We go through each rating and kind of the trope of each book. So the first one was Third Sense, a Charm. This one was a bodyguard romance. I gave it 4 stars. Next one was No Earls Allowed, and I gave this one 5 stars. I have to say this was definitely one of my favorites of the series. There was like 2 that I loved the most, and this was one of them. One is An Affair with a Spare. Heroine is a spy trying to spy on the British government, and then our hero is sent to kill her. Next one is Unmask Me If You Can, and this was my other 5-star romance, which I love this one so much. Our hero, Jasper. Oh, sweet baby Jasper. I love him with all my heart, body, and soul. He is a bounty hunter that is sent to collect our heroine, bring her back to the man she's betrothed to, but he ends up finding out that she was abused by that man, and she is protecting her son, and he kind of like helps protect her and her son. Next one is The Claiming of the Shrew. Gave that one 3 stars. This one is a marriage in trouble / second chance romance. The last one is A Duke, a Dozen. I gave like 3.5, 4 stars. This one felt more like an adventure romance because they're going on a quest to find someone. Those were the 6 books we read in this reading vlog. I know this was a little bit of a long one, but I hope you guys enjoyed it nonetheless. Let me know if you read from this author, and if you haven't, if you're planning to. I'm so pleased that I decided to read from this author because of Lisa's recommendation. Thank you, Lisa. Love you to pieces. As always, thank you for taking time out of your day to spend time with me. It means the world to me. I hope you guys are all staying happy and healthy, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!